Me and my friend here have gotten to know each other quite well in recent hours and days. The last time I was here, well, I had the best meal I've ever had in Dublin. Come back to me, my gelatinous love. This is awesome. Somewhere in there's a lesson for us all. What am I, the poster boy for alcoholism?
Dublin, a city I know and love. If you've got any kind of a heart, a soul, an appreciation for your fellow man, or any kind of appreciation for the written word, or simply a love of a perfectly poured beverage, then there's no way you could avoid loving this city. The ever-expanding capital city of Ireland is located on the country's east coast at the mouth of the River Liffey. The Liffey splits the city into two parts: the more residential and historically rougher north side, and the more tourist-friendly south side, where you can find the Grafton Street area and Temple Bar. You land, you've got a few options for getting to town. You can take the air coach or the Dublin bus. Both will get you to the city center for less than 20 euros. And yes, they use euros here. I take a taxi. It's a little more, but not much, generally around 25 euros or so. And you get conversation, which is something to be savored in Ireland.
You've been to Dublin before?
Yes,
You like it?
I do.
Have you had anything to eat here?
Not yet.
We're really friendly. We like to talk to everybody that we meet, and we like to chat to everybody that we meet. We're Irish. We like to know where you're from, and we like to talk to you and chat.
When it comes to where you're going to stay in Dublin, there are options and decisions to make. Near Merrion Square, there is the Davenport. Good for its great location and reasonable, less than 150 euro a night rates. Cheaper still is the Kinlay House, a hostel. But who doesn't love sharing a room with strangers? It's also located in Temple Bar, which puts you within walking distance of many of the typically touristy spots in town. Also, lots of bars. If you're me and on his 8th year of making television, you probably want to live large. Blow it out. Stay at someplace swank, like the Four Seasons in Ballsbridge. Yeah, baby. But I'm not heading to my hotel. I've got other plans. I need to find a place to get a drink.
Will you have a pint of the black stuff?
No, not yet. That's my first order of business.
Is it just one pint?
No way. Multiple pints.
In Dublin, though, and if that particular pint is not pulled the right way, the customer will not drink it.
Yeah.
I'm in Dublin, whereas in all cities I ask myself, what do they do here better than any other place on earth? Answer, this stuff. This delicious, some say magical, probably nutritious, unparalleled beverage, this divine brew is so tasty, creamy, so near chocolatey in its rich, satisfying, buzz-giving qualities that the difference between the stuff here and the indifferently poured swill you get where you come from is like night and day. One is beer, the other, angels sing, celestial trombones. I would like to drink more of this amazing indigenous beverage. Quite a lot of it, actually. And Kavanagh's, located in Glasnevin and known locally as Gravediggers due to its proximity to the boneyard next door, is reputed to pour an excellent pint, even by Dublin's already impeccable standards. Meeting me there is my old friend Paddy Daly, TV producer and aficionado of the beer-pouring arts.
On a really good pint of Guinness, I think you get about 7 or 8 lines because it's 7 or 8 sips and then it's done.
Gravediggers is owned by Eugene Kavanagh and his son Kieran. The place is 150 years old and gloriously by time.
Pubs like this, there's lots of drinking, lots of talking, lots of reading newspapers.
There's not too many TVs. There's a good age difference, generational difference of people.
They have a few beers, chat with the barman, chat with the other locals, and just have a good time.
Hello, young man. Buddy. Could I have a pint, please? Oh, I love this place.
Great, isn't it?
That's a color that comes from years of cigarette smoke.
A place like this, obviously, that, you know, have retained the authenticity, or just have been untouched, and now they're real gems.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. Slash. Man, that is a fine beverage. Ireland has this, has a reputation as a drinking culture, you know, and worse, as a bunch of drunks. But actually, it is a really rare thing for me. Like walking into an Irish pub in Ireland, I almost never see people drinking hard liquor. It's almost always a pint. And you don't generally see people anywhere near as up as they are in England. I don't see like how, like, you know, the level of drunken hooliganism you see. Am I just going to the wrong place?
That's because you don't stay out late enough anymore.
Well, usually if there's drunken hooliganism going on in Ireland, it's me.
Proper pub behaviour in Dublin, being friendly, don't be afraid to talk to the person next to you, in fact, engage them. Be prepared to listen to an expert who knows nothing about anything, but is an expert anyway.
Grab your mates and talk.
You just,
Have the crack.
yeah, don't go in with a sad face.
And if you do, you won't come out with a sad face anyway.
No, exactly, exactly.
If you want an Irish music session along with your pint, you could also head to the Cobblestone, a local institution that's all about the music. And it's also on the north side of town. But I'm good to go at Gravediggers, with no music and a steady flow of the black good stuff.
Can we order some coddle?
Now, what is coddle?
It was like a peasant food, the leftovers for the things like bacon and
I like
potato
bacon.
and
I like potato.
sausage.
I like sausage.
We just pretty much mixed it all up in together in a stew.
That works for me.
Coddle, a hearty stew of sausages, bacon, onion, and potatoes, slow simmered in stock, which is definitely a what's not to like situation, right? No brainer. You hear about it, you want it.
Oh, cheers.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
Sausage, got ribs, bacon.
Any bowl with a bunch of like potatoes and meat and bones in it, awesome. Especially when the bones just slide right out. That is f***ing awesome.
This is spot.
Kieran, they're great.
People on the north side make the coddle completely different to the people on the south side. And we're south of the river, but I walk on the north side. So my coddle is totally different to people on this side, to people on that side.
But when I grew up, all the kids all were force-fed this, so we didn't really like it.
Oh man, I love this.
And there's more. Slow-cooked, simmered in cider pig's feet. You may not think you want it, my friends, but believe me, you do.
Oh yeah.
Raised Bigfoot, the cider, okay? So they're kind of hot.
That is completely awesome. Wow. This is an endlessly fascinating piece of meat, man. It's just like, come back to me, my gelatinous love. This is f***ing awesome.
It's good though, isn't it?
It is good.
Happily fed, I plan to have a few more rounds at Gravediggers. You see, I want to end up swacked in the best way possible before I totter off to sleep in my 9,000 thread count sheets. And I am well on my way. Morning in Dublin. What's a man to do? Irish breakfast, of course. What's wrong with you? This is no country to be around with a croissant. Go big or go the home.
So how are we feeling this morning? All right?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Funky fresh, some might say.
I meet up with a surprisingly cheerful Paddy for a classic Irish breakfast.
The place where we're going, Slattery's. It's an early house. So they can open 7 in the morning, and the reason behind them was that they opened up beside markets or beside docks, fishing ports and that.
Right.
So the people that were working on the fishing boats and so forth could come in and have a pint in the morning, you know?
Right. Early morning
Yeah, early
laborers
morning.
such as
Exactly.
ourselves.
Exactly.
After you, son, go ahead.
Slattery's is just such an establishment and can be found north of the Liffey, only a few short blocks from the river.
Ordinary pubs can regularize
10:30.
10:30.
10:30, it kind of, yeah.
So basically, if a person such as myself wants a pint of the sweet, sweet nectar before 10, there's only 10 places left.
7.
That can make things difficult. And yet there's more. There's breakfast involved here, yes?
Yeah.
The Irish breakfast, a monster of a meal consisting of bacon rashers, sausages, black pudding, eggs, fried mushrooms, and tomatoes.
Yeah, but you couldn't eat it every day. I mean, I know people do, but you just couldn't do it every day anymore.
What did Clint Eastwood say? A man's got to know his limitations.
Yeah.
Another option, of course, is the very popular Cake Cafe, hidden behind a stationery store in the Grafton Street area. I don't really give a about cake. And though I'm told they also make some really good breakfast dishes like this one they call eggs and soldiers, or crepe, or stuff with candy bees on it, I guess if you're a 12-stepper, and good for you if you are, really, then this might be the place for you. More up my particular alley, so to speak, is O'Donovan's, a convenience store in the Docklands that serves up the handheld version of the Irish breakfast.
You like any salsa?
Yeah, I'll have ketchup, please.
It's the perfect delivery vehicle for all that goodness.
The roll has sausage, white pudding, fried egg, rasher, and hash brown.
A torpedo of love and cholesterol you can eat anywhere.
I should have got drunk last night.
But Slattery's does theirs on a plate, and I'm more than happy to oblige.
Thanks a million.
Is that good, lads, yeah?
Oh, it's good. I'll tell you, one of the great combinations in this world is a good black pudding and eggs. They just...
I'd probably be good with half of this.
It's all about the black pudding for me. Just love this stuff. Blood and eggs. If I hadn't already written a memoir, I'd call it that.
Busking is like singing for free on the side of the street. Basically, go on the street when you're a teenager, you play your music, you play your socks off, and people give you some money. Guys like U2 started, Glenn Hansard started off the same way.
Get me out of this room now. Get me out of this world. Dropping smoke is too much now. A boomerang is a curse.
Oh, Jesus.
Get me out of this
Man can't walk
Dropping smoke is too much
unobserved.
Boomerang
How you guys doing? Oh.
Never moved to the city. Never moved to the past.
What am I, the poster boy for alcoholism? Oh yeah, there we are.
Caha Books off Grafton Street sells rare and first editions from masters of Irish literature. Run by Aisling Cunningham, daughter of the original founder, this independently owned and operated shop holds a treasure trove of book nerd collectibles.
Ooh, Empire of the Sun, first edition.
The word, written and spoken, is the thing in Ireland. It seems that every great poem, every great story, every great thing ever written not by a Russian was written by an Irishman. Point is, they like books around here.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Oh, it's a beautiful store. Wow, look at that. Can't get my daughter to be interested in Dr. Dolittle yet. It's breaking my heart. My dad used to read that to me. Dr. Seuss. Anderson's fairy tales, these were like really violent and disturbing. This would be totally like illegal for kids now. Also Grimm's.
While you're in the neighborhood, and if, however, you are immune to poetry and literature, could care less about a bunch of overeducated Irishmen with big ideas, you could, just prior to writing in Sarah Palin's name for president, visit perhaps the Celtic Whiskey Shop. Whiskey tastings, rare, exclusive batches of Ireland's finest. After which you could pick up a book, dumbass. You could then swing by Sheridan's for the many delights of Irish cheesemaking. Cheeses like Doris, Gabine, and Ardrahan are absolutely killer, some of the best in the world.
Oh, whoa. The Ulysses illustrations by Matisse?
25,000.
First edition Dracula. How much is that?
12,500.
12 and a half. That's a good deal. And the collected works, Yeats?
I think that's 195. It has the illustrations by his brother Jack, who's a famous Irish artist. This is a nice one. You were talking about your daughter.
Oh.
This is by James Joyce.
Wow.
Cat and the Devil.
And how much is it?
That's 195.
Done. Four-leaf clover, leprechauns, I mean, really.
The biggest misconception tourists have about Dublin is that we're all drunk all the time. That's only partially true.
Do you have cars? We don't go around horse and carts and donkeys.
But the Irish actually don't drink that much because they can only drink so much and then you fall down.
It's teeming with little leprechauns.
Yes.
Running
Say the same thing.
around the place.
What witless factoids could my guidebook contain? Ah, yeah, they should know this. Dublin is Europe's most popular destination with traveling stag and hen parties. Is that still true? Didn't they make them illegal? For years, the beer that has no name and shall not be mentioned on this show, its iconic slogan was, blank is good for you. Turns out it actually might be, or has been associated with unexpected penile enlargement.
Lunchtime, I meet up with Joe Mackin, owner of several restaurants in Dublin, the latest being this place, Bear. Envisioned as a steakhouse serving offcuts, lesser known, lesser appreciated, cheaper slabs of beef. Like rump, flank, feather, and skirt steaks.
So tell me about this place. This is your fifth restaurant?
This is our fifth restaurant.
Another of Joe's places is the ironically named Crackbird. This fried chicken joint with quasi-Japanese decor started life as a pop-up, but was so successful, it's now a full-fledged restaurant. And he's got another place called Skinflint, specializing in grilled pizzas. Both Crackbird and Skinflint can be found on the fringes of the tourist hub of Temple Bar.
Heritage-wise, you always had meat and two vegetables. That was your dinner.
Right.
So we really are the first people doing anything with alternative cuts.
So what do you think? Rosary or Pope's Eye? What do you think?
Why don't we get one of each?
At Bear, I order a Pope's Eye and a rosary cut.
Take the Pope's Eye.
Beautiful, thank you.
So the rosary cut, as you can see, is why it's called a rosary.
Right.
It's got rosary beads.
That's very cool. And you get these little nubbins in between, right? This is great. This is a great cut of meat. Of course, for many years, the reputation of Ireland was that the food sucks. Since I first came here, I think in 2000, 2001, I've always eaten really well here. Speaking broad spectrum, what does your hip Dubliner with enough money to spend eating in restaurants once or twice a week, what do they want?
Casual and accessible. It has to be like easily accessible and without any fear. Dublin is so changing. We're as a nation, we're completely changing. Irish people are just there's no stress, no aggro. So if you ask someone here, how do I get to somewhere, they will tell you the truth. They're not going to. It's just an easy place to live.
Well, this is great. Really enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I got a drink, and unusually for me, a pint won't do it. Then I want brown liquor, specifically whiskey. I like a good Irish whiskey, a good Republican whiskey, truth be told. And one of the best selections of whiskey in Dublin, and that's saying a lot, can be found at the wonderful Palace Bar. They got over 100 of them.
How you doing? Good. Could I have a pint and I could go for a recommendation for a whiskey?
I'd have to recommend our own whiskey here. Palace Bar, 9-year-old, single cask, single malt.
Done. Yeah. Got a pint. Great.
The bar at the Four Seasons has a very nice selection of whiskeys, too. And it's only a short crawl back to my room. And look, nice ice globes. Pretty. If whiskey isn't your thing, you could head to the Coppinger Row for handcrafted cocktails, whatever the that is. I guess it means they use house-made mixers and fresh ingredients. Meanwhile, back at Palace Bar, I've been doing my best to get as much of their quality whiskey in me as possible.
What did you think of the whiskey?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, the reaction to it's been great now.
How many whiskeys you have on offer here?
We have 110 Irish whiskies. We kind of specialise in Irish.
Is it helping? Are things getting brighter? Well, to be honest, no. I'm drunk.
do love living in Dublin. It's the humour. It's full of humour.
Humour is our friend.
The one thing Dublin has that no other city has is Dubliners.
You get great welcome and everywhere you go. Even homeless people give you a great welcome.
What Dublin has that no other city has...
Dublin has changed. Dublin is changing. It has long ago ceased to be only about great pints and good pub food. To help explain this casual renaissance, part of a worldwide phenomenon that seems particularly well suited to Dublin, Kevin Arundel. Kevin is chef and co-owner of the Chop House, one of Dublin's most acclaimed restaurants. Located in Ballsbridge, the Chop House is what some used to call a gastropub, an idiotic term coined by those who thought that somehow a properly poured pint couldn't or shouldn't coexist with fine quality food. I, to tell you the truth, used to be just such an idiot. Gillian is Kevin's wife and partner in the business.
So I remember the last time I was here, I had the best meal I've ever had in Dublin here. What was the idea behind the place? What were you looking to do?
Basically, the idea was put all them, let's say, the mad chefs who I know who've worked for me in the more serious places into a box and produce cutting-edge food without the... And Oscar Wilde always said, to get into society these days, you need to feed people, amuse people, or shock them. We feed them, we amuse them, and we shock them all the time.
Like a lot of people in and around Dublin and Ireland in general right now, you're thinking about where your stuff comes from a lot.
Oh, yeah,
all the time.
Absolutely.
It's part and parcel of what we do. Let's face it, we're not in a good economy at the moment, so it's really, really important that we are all helping each other out, supporting. There's amazing producers out there. That creates this little nugget of what we have in Dublin for.
Very good, sir.
Thank you.
I'll bring you some warm bread.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking so it's the lamb breast with sweetbreads?
Yes, a porterhouse in the share porterhouse.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
A porterhouse to share. That should take some time to cook. In the meantime, pan-seared king prawns with lemon, chili, garlic, and smoked paprika butter. But before that, a plate of charcuterie. Cured red deer, Irish mortadella served with a clementine mustard.
Beautiful. Oh.
And some rolled lamb's belly, sweetbreads, fresh asparagus served with soubise.
A year ago, we couldn't afford slates.
Nice. That soubise is really old school. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The sweetbreads are amazing. I forget how good these things are.
I mean, this is madness.
Love it. I can't live like this.
On the north side of town, Chapter 1 is more traditional fine dining. A Michelin-starred place serving modern Irish cuisine from chef and co-owner Ross Lewis, a champion of Irish ingredients and culinary heritage.
This is a flavour of the Irish Ocean. It's a bran crab, cucumber jelly, 2 types of Irish seaweed, salted watermelon, deep-fried sea spaghetti, which is crunchy and a little bit sweet. That's Ireland on a plate.
They also offer their unique take on the classic Irish coffee. Flaming coffee? What? Nearby, the Winding Stair is a combination bookshop and cafe, famous as a meeting place for artists, musicians, writers, and other deadbeats. They emphasize organic ingredients and an extensive wine list. But tonight, for me anyway, it's the Chop House all the way.
So what the hell are you doing in Dublin? Or more to the point, what do you love about it and why would you?
Dublin's the only monster in the whole country. We can make money. Economics. So Dublin is the only place to try and survive.
And to introduce something that's a little bit crazy.
So outside of the restaurant life, the best stuff in Dublin, what's the good stuff?
For me, it's you're living in a city, but yet it's not like living in a big condensed space where you have got no breathing space. Dublin gives you everything. But you know what? I think there's more and more starting to happen in the city because I think The complacency that used to be in Dublin is definitely gone. It's a sense of pride, no matter what happens.
You know, Brendan Behan said about it in New York, if you hate New York, you hate all humanity. I'd say that about Ireland. If you can't appreciate Ireland, you hate all humanity. There is no hope for you.
The best way to go around Dublin, I think, is by foot. It's a very small city, quite compact.
Nowhere is too far away. You could walk from one end of the city centre to the next in under half an hour.
Or using one of our Dublin bikes, which are the city bikes, which you can just rent and drop off at drop-off points. It's the best way to get around Dublin.
Bikes? Walking? Actually, if you're going to walk around a city, Dublin's a good choice. In my case, a more modern form of transport will suffice.
Coming here for years, I didn't even know there was a tram. What if you could veer off the tracks? Tram-related comedy would be your limp feet kicking from under the car as it drags down the street, the little feet flopping, flopping, flopping.
I'm heading back into the center of the city for a night of drinking because, after all, what does Ireland do better than any other nation on earth? Pubs.
So the Long Hall pub on Dublin's Old George's Street is one of Dublin's most fantastic landmarks.
Finest pint of Guinness.
It's got that atmosphere, it's got that sort of strange smell of an old pub and lots of stories being told. And if you don't make it to the Long Hall, you haven't seen Dublin.
Good. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. Hi. Pint Guinness, I think. What's a monster whiskey? Something really, some really good whiskey that I should be drinking, a single malt. Thank you, sir. Tomorrow it's Italia versus Ireland. Tough choice for me. An unpopular one around here. I'm married to an Italian. My loyalties are clear. Plus, I enjoy their theatrical, operatic, what's the word, hypochondriacal play.
Now I could head over to the Docklands and grab a stool at Mulligan's, in business since 1782. This place used to be a haunt for members of the Irish press and still maintains its reputation as a spot to experience two proud local traditions, a great pint and great conversation. But tonight, I'm heading to the Long Hall. Joe Mackin from Bear joins me on my pub crawl this evening.
How are you?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Nice to see you. How are you? Well, I'm good.
I'm interested to see when you're going to order with all of this talk about evil foreign corporations. What do you do when you go to the local?
Well, I drink whiskey and Diet Coke, so I never drink pints. I'm not a pints person at all.
Really?
Never. I'm on the floor. 10 Manhattans, no problem.
Yeah.
2 pints Guinness.
That really puts you at odds with the rest of society, that your beer drinking thing.
Yeah, it sort of does. It sort of does.
I ordered a whiskey. I was really careful to make sure that I said whiskey. I was extremely careful to not even suggest ice. You know, I want to be well thought of here.
Let's hope that works out later this evening.
Jesus, I speak in Dublinese all the time, but I just can't think.
Scarlet, yeah. So you know when you go red if you're embarrassed? So you go scarlet.
Sound, you could be sound, the restaurant could be sound. It just means it's fantastic. It's everything you want.
Pug Mahone, when you're told that, smile, say nothing, nod your head, and turn around. The word is kiss my arse.
Just saying. Just saying means that, just telling you, just saying.
The crack is another word for fun, and I have a lot of crack.
I have a lot of crack.
Yeah.
We have a lot of crack. Irish people just have fun.
Yeah.
Bars close early in Dublin, and pay attention to this fact lest you misuse your drinking time. Most of them shut down before midnight. It's rapidly approaching last call, so Joe and I decide to move on.
This is it, right?
Our next stop is Hogan's. Lucky for us, it's literally right across the street from the Long Hall.
Hogan's Bar is another oldie but a goodie. It's just got great music and great people, and you're always guaranteed a good fun night in there.
Have a pint of Guinness, please. Thanks.
Can I get whiskey and Diet Coke, please? So Hogan's is one of the deadliest pubs in town. It's just the go-to pub for cool and deadly. It's that bastardization cross between hipster and old man.
Right.
And everyone meets in Hogan's.
But where to go after? The traditional destination of the drunk-ass hungry man, ripped untimely from the pub.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm actually starting to think seriously about fish and chips.
Fish and chips?
It's sounding increasingly attractive. Now, you're telling me that...
With curry sauce, though.
I do not want...
With curry sauce.
Curry sauce?
Curry sauce.
Not vinegar, curry sauce.
Vinegar, maybe.
What about the chips? What am I doing with those?
Curry sauce.
Curry sauce and the chips.
And maybe some garlic mayonnaise as well.
Fish and chips with curry sauce. Yes, that seems like an excellent idea. But I need more answers. I decide to seek out a little help from some of my fellow drinkers next door.
If you go into a chip shop, what are you ordering?
Something light, not too heavy.
Curry sauce?
I'm going for sauces, you know.
Roast,
It's not like it now.
How would you portion?
Yeah, roll people. I mean, a few drinks after a few drinks, you don't be thinking logical, you can just go.
So I don't know what to do. What's appropriate? I mean, so...
How drunk you are, that's the thing.
Okay, what's the worst case scenario? You're completely up.
Taco fries. I look the same way in what?
Basically, you eat your taco fries, and like 8 minutes later, you're running.
Maybe not 8 minutes. You still have to get the taxi. You know yourself.
Get the taxi halfway home.
You wake up during the night. You wake up at 4 in the morning, and you'll go. and then you'll run.
How bad can it be? I'm not gonna that cab. I'm totally not browning out that taxi. I can make it to my hotel and do my business in good order. Well, gentlemen, you...
It's been a pleasure.
You are the font of all knowledge. Kind sirs, thank you.
These men are a gift from the Irish drinking gods. They will show me the light, give me guidance, and point me in the direction of the proper late-night feast. They are coming with us.
This is troubling. There's no one in here.
At a fine establishment like Roma's, a chipper with a full line of delicately friolated arts. Yes, I would like it all. And buy my new friends something.
Jedi Masters, what should I order?
How drunk are you? You want a chance to taco chips? On the cardboard cookout on your right.
Smoked cod. I'll have one of those. I will have it with chips. Oh, I want a taco chip.
You're gonna hate us tomorrow. He hates us now. He'll be up all night.
I could have had a late-night breakfast at the nearby Gigs place, I guess. Opened in 1970 and catering to musicians, pub-goers, and other folks that seek out quality food in the wee hours, Gigs opens for business, conveniently enough, from midnight to dawn. But over at the Chipper, our order is being professionally fried and prepared. Soon enough, it's ready to eat, served up, still steaming in plain brown paper bags.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, my God, what an extravaganza.
It's all here. The well-known classic smoked cod and chips, taco chips, a spice burger, and lastly, the whirly burger.
What is that and what's this?
That's the same thing, except in lettuce, tomato, just bite it, get done.
Deep fried burger.
He's a brave man.
No.
And there's deeply satisfying.
It is. That's the funny thing. It's so bad for you, but it's so nice.
Yeah, that's a smoked fish thing. You know, tear off a little hunk of that. That's delicious. How did this happen? With curry sauce. How did this happen?
It's a Celtic Tiger to start it all off.
You haven't tried this spice burger.
Spice burger?
Yeah, it's like a meal and barley and everything. Burger, basically. Yeah, it's the very little or no meat at all.
I mean, I gotta tell you, I thought the Scots pretty much had the deep fried arts covered, but this is pretty extraordinary. And this thing, on the levels of drunkenness, again, we'd start at fish and chips. You've got a little buzz on. Go with the classics.
Yeah.
You're a little more up. You're moving on to
there's a lot of factors, right? There's how drunk, how bad the weather,
Right.
how late it is at night, right? Because if you're waiting on a taxi, you're not going to eat one of these because he's not going to pick you up with that rolling down your top. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
So you're not. This is an impediment to getting home in good order.
Exactly. So if it's 4 o'clock in the morning and there's a chipper open that'll give you a donut kebab, you're going to eat that because that'll keep you company all
Right.
the way home.
You know, Masters, how did you arrive at this elevated state of wisdom?
Experience. That's the funny thing. Even though you're drunk, you still have to have a little slight bit of awareness.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Your average Kardashian would be all over this.
You could use that to clean your windows.
How to rid oneself of a troublesome hangover legally? Matt the Thresher's near Merrion Square supposedly has the answer.
As the great Irish writer Brendan Behan once said, I'm a drinker with a writing problem. And apparently, around these parts, it is said, or I'm led to believe, that the classic cure for a hangover is oysters and that sweet, sweet dark substance that comes in a pint glass, which I love so much, because every drop brings pleasure, enlightenment, in this case, hopefully, relief. Can't argue with tradition, or can you?
How you getting on, you well?
Hi.
What can I do for you?
A pint of Guinness, please, and some oysters, if you will. As you'll notice, the establishment is packed with fellow sufferers seeking the traditional cure for the hangover.
When the weather's on here, crystal clear blue water, you know, take a plunge. There's nothing more invigorating than a dip in the Irish Sea.
Oh, hell no.
Now, oysters and Guinness may or may not be the local hangover cure, but some say it's worth the drive to the 40-foot and its freezing cold water to shake the cobwebs out after a night of drinking. Beloved by James Joyce and immortalized in Ulysses, the 40-foot was also once a popular spot for nudists. I will stick with my oysters and Guinness on this particular morning.
That sounds good. Nice surface tension going on there. Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Almost too good to meddle with.
So beautiful. Good to the last drop. Me and my friend here have gotten to know each other quite well over recent hours and days of this 24-hour layover.
Hello.
Oh, thank you.
Little something extra in there for you.
Beautiful. And where are these oysters from?
They are from Carlingford Lough. They're rock oysters, just north of Dublin.
Beautiful.
But these are slightly smaller shelled oyster. We specifically go for those as opposed to the larger ones. So they tend to be sweeter, nicer kind of consistency and more intense flavour. When they get larger, they tend to get a little bit sort of rubbery and they lose that kind of fresh, ripe flavour.
Right, and in combination, this will make me feel better after last night's.
It will.
You know, it was an ugly combination of fine beverage and chip shop. Need I say more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bon appetit.
Thank
Enjoy.
you. Yeah, my bathroom looked like the Dolung Bridge this morning. If I see the chambermaid in the hall, I'm gonna avoid her gaze. Yes, that is a fine oyster. And you, my love.
Breakfast of champions.
Indeed.
It's as good a cure as you're likely to get anyway. Hair of the dog and then some.
I feel better already. I don't know if it's the oysters or the Vicodin, but one of them's working.
This is not deja vu. I've never met someone.
Before I head to the airport, I need a little fortification for the transatlantic flight.
I hardly know you, and I don't wanna let you go, and I don't wanna let you go.
Thank you.
Hello, hi, sausage roll, please.
Would you like it hot or cold?
Hot, I think. Thanks.
The sausage roll is ubiquitous in Dublin, although Lolly and Cook's in the George Street Arcade makes a particularly fine specimen.
There you go. Thank you.
Thanks, though.
For a slightly more dazzling array of snack options in the neighborhood, there's Fallon and Burn, a 3-story mall for food lovers. Upstairs, there's a reasonably priced restaurant and bar. On the main floor, past the produce and curated groceries, there's a full-service deli and cafe. Downstairs, the wine cellar, which offers food as well. Me, I'm sticking with what I know. Sausage in a warm, crispy crust always equals a good time. Unfortunately, my production team will not allow me to enjoy it in peace.
You're looking for some kind of large, all-encompassing, yet crushingly banal metaphor, perhaps?
Exactly.
It's ground meat and pastry, dude. I really don't see it.
Lucky for them, I am nothing if not accommodating.
Like the city itself. Varieties of mystery meat ground together, forced into an unnatural shape and encased in pastry. Then I think somewhere in there, there's a lesson for us all. Is that kind of where you're going? It's good sausage. No, I think we've had enough of Mr. Snark. Back in the box.
As with all good things, my time in Dublin rapidly reaches its end. And not surprisingly, it pains me to leave. This city always gives you just what you need. Good food, amazing, amazing people, and the best pint on earth. Period. So put down that glass of horse piss you call beer, hop a flight, and get yourself to Dublin.